Okay, welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Janaka from Steven and Janaka, and today we're going to show you how to take your own DIY Christmas portrait for your Christmas cards this year, because God knows everything's shut down. So let's hit it. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Janaka of Steven and Janaka, and this is a channel about photography, videography, droning, and tech. So if that's your jam, stay tuned, because today I'm going to show you how I took this picture. So this year, with everything being locked down with COVID, you might not be able to get to that photography studio, and you might have to take your own Christmas photos. So I'm going to show you my top 5 tips on how to take the best Christmas photo ever, so you can send it to your family and friends. Number 1, you have to have your space set up. So you might have seen from the B-roll shots that I've kind of taken over the living room. It's kind of been destroyed because I put everything everywhere. You do what you can with the space, but what's most important is in the background that you have everything that you want to show. So what I have is this lovely wreath that my partner made, and actually she decorated all of this greenery, which is fantastic. For the TV, we put up a nice little Christmas picture. We kept the bottles of bourbon because, you know, Christmas cheer. And everything else, we're gonna cut out of the picture. We're gonna have it in portrait mode, maybe on a card, maybe on an e-card. Tip number 2, lighting. Have great lighting. So I have this guy right here. I have the Godox SL60W, which is a fantastic light. I picked it up for literally $130 Canadian. It's fantastic. It's on this Manfrotto stand, and to be honest, I'm not the happiest with the stand, but we could talk about that in a different episode. And I have this newer octagonal softbox, and you want soft light because that is the most flattering for the face. And even though it's a softbox, I don't have it directly on myself, so I angle it out so the corner of the box is actually hitting my face. That's the softest light. Before, after. Now you might just be saying, Janaka, I could just turn down the light if it's right on me. Trust me on this. This is a good tip. Use the corner of the softbox rather than the front. Second thing about lighting, just to have one a source of light isn't good enough. I need this background light, or it'll look kind of dull back here. So it really makes everything pop a little bit more. And the third thing I have is this reflector. I got this reflector. It's a 5-in-1 reflector. I got off Amazon. Super cheap, super easy to use. And you know what? Because we're DIYing it, I don't even have a light stand or a reflector stand. I have it leaning up against my Schwinn IC4 bike, my spin bike. Also with the light at this angle, because I'm using the corner for my face, it's directly hitting my camera. So what I need to do is I need to put on the lens hood to make sure that that light isn't seeping into the shot. Okay, tip number 3, dress for the part. So as you can see, I have my festive suspenders on. My partner has nice little reindeer ears, but more than that, you know, it's the accessories. I took off my Fitbit and I made sure to have my nice Fossil watch on. Did my hair. I made sure to clean up the old neck beard a bit so everything looks sharp and nice. My girlfriend put on makeup. You know, she did cheeks, lips, even eyes. She put on lashes. It might seem like overkill, but for a picture, it seems actually pretty normal. So one thing I did was I seated myself and had Whitney behind me with her hand on my shoulder and on my back, so it kind of evened out the heights a little bit better. But what you want to do when posing is you want to make sure that you are facing your body 45 degrees away from the camera, so your one shoulder is closer to it. You want to drop that shoulder So what that does is it tightens up the neck skin, and you want to make sure that your head is straight, that your eyes are forward, and you smile well. Number 4, camera settings. So I like to shoot wide open, so I have it at 1.4. I'm using the Sigma 16mm because we're in a tight space here, and because of that I can't really use my nice 85mm portrait lens, which I would love to use. I love using that for any kind of portrait, but it's just too small of a space. So what's better than the 85mm? I'm using the Sigma 16mm on my a7 III in crop sensor mode. Now what that does is it changes it into a 32mm. So actually, correction, for a Sigma, my APS-C camera actually makes that 16mm a 24mm, not a 32. I was mistaken, you know. I thought, I was thinking about Steven's Lumix, you know, because I've just been so thankful that my autofocus is working so well when I'm taking my own picture. When it comes to the camera settings also, I dabbled with the flash a bit. I used the flash, I reflected it off the sides, I reflected it off the ceiling, I reflected it off the back wall, but in the end it was just too much light. It was kind of affecting that warm flavor I was getting from these nice lamps. So in the end I decided not to use a flash, but I highly recommend it because I was able to take shots like these in my red carpet shoot for the movie Code 8 for its premiere in Toronto, and they turned out beautifully. But that's the great aesthetic of a red carpet shoot. Didn't really fit this shoot. So we're shooting 1.4, we're shooting wide open. I have it on manual focus because I want my partners and my eyes razor sharp and the background out of focus. It needs to be on 1.4 so we can get as much light as possible, but that shallow depth of field as well, because again, we don't have that much space. We're standing pretty much right in front of our background. The last thing I'll say about camera settings is you want to put on the timer. So what you want to do is you want to go, if you're a Sony shooter, go into your menu, go into your bracket modes, go into the self timer setting. I give myself 10 seconds, which is great. I can count down as we're running up and we take the shot. And my last tip, and maybe the most important thing, have fun with it, you know? This is supposed to be a fun time, not a stressful time. It'll show in the pictures, so have fun with it. Mix it up. Like I said, I have my festive suspenders on, my partner has her reindeer ears on, but you know what? Take a picture if you can with the pet. So we have Macduff in this picture here, and you can see that he's not really having fun, but we are. So that's I guess what counts in this. But you know what? It's meant to be a fun night. We have some sparkling rosé going. It's just a good time, and it shows in the picture too that we're having fun. Okay guys, so that's a quick rundown on how you can take the best Christmas portrait this year possible from your own house. Now, you might be saying, Janaka, I don't have an a7 III. I don't have a Sigma 16mm camera. I just have an iPhone 12 Pro. Just kidding. But if you have a cell phone, right, a lot of these things still count, you know? Have a good spot for lighting. Maybe you take it within the daytime by a window where you have the soft light coming in. Maybe you take it with candlelight or just lamplight. Make sure the lighting is good. Make sure you're having fun. Make sure the background looks nice and festive, and so do you. You know, a lot of these things you could just do with a cell phone and still take a great picture because you can't get to that photography studio. I believe in you. Whatever pictures you take, you know, if you put it on Instagram, tag myself or Steven in there. We'll put the Instagram logos right here for you. Would love to see what you come up with. Would love to connect with you there. So until next time, happy holidays and have fun.